guys, this is Hayden Hurst, NFL tight end. I'm partnering today with Red Recover. We're going to run you guys through some drills. I started using Red Recover last year, my 4th year in the NFL. It just helps me on Mondays after games, get my recovery process started, get back into the fold of the week, and get ready for the following Sunday. If you want to recover like me, use Red Recover.
For over 16 years, EJDConstruction.com has provided South Florida residents quality craftsmanship, accurate project management, and exceptional service. That's why EJDConstruction.com is an A-rated member of Angie's List and the Better Business Bureau. When you're looking for the right custom home builder for additions or home remodeling, please call my friend Eric at 305-433-4843. That's 305-433-4843 for EJDConstruction.com.
Viewpoint statements or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyAccess.com, Media Group Inc. ownership, management, sponsors, or website. The Sports Talk 305 network is back. It's time to talk Miami Dolphins football with the greatest fan base in the world. EJDConstruction.com is fully insured, liability and workers' comp. Call Eric if you need a custom home builder or general contractor. 305-433-4843. This is the EJDConstruction.com Miami Dolphins Postgame Show on the Sports Talk 305 network. The show is mastered by Sean Stanley and Chad Shobe. Here's your host, the Big O.
Friday. All right, man. Listen, I am really proud of the Miami Dolphins today. I'm really proud of the amazing fight that they had today. I know it's not it's you know, we turn this game on, right? And let's be honest, right? Because this is the kind of show that we just lay it all out there and we tell you exactly what's going on. And we go in your soul, because that's the thing we do in this show. We go in your soul, okay? And you know, deep down inside, when you started this game, you feared it. You said, "Oh my God, this could be really bad. They could get blown out." You know, at least Sterling had it 45-10, and nobody's going to laugh at him and say, "Oh no, that'll never happen." No, of course, you're damn right it could happen. And the fact that we got a 34-31 final, we're sitting here beside ourselves because the Dolphins put up one hell of a fight. Did Mike McDaniel lose this game? Well, of course he did. I mean, he lost it in Buffalo 3 weeks ago when you're gouging them for 7 yards a carry and you come up to 3rd and 3, 3rd and 2, 3rd and 1, and you decide to pass. In the Green Bay game, you're gouging them for 9 yards a carry. Here comes 3rd and 3. You decide to pass. You know, sometimes smart people outsmart themselves. And Mike McDaniel is a guy that has a major problem, and that's why I've said, pretty much all year, he's a mediocre game day coach, and he has to get better. I listen, I'm a Mike McDaniel fan all the way here. Okay? You got to come back with Mike McDaniel. You got to hope he learns and grows. Hey, Skyler, by the way. Skyler grew. We'll get to that. But anyway, so McDaniel has lost several games this year. He put Braylon Sanders in a position weeks ago in that Buffalo game to run a route that he failed to run, and Tua threw a touchdown that he failed to catch because the coach failed to put the right person in. This has gone on all year. He's had trouble sending in plays. He has addressed it on the podium that he's got to do a better job of it, and he doesn't get any better at it. And, whatever it is you're trying to dial up, you have a 7th-round pick out there. Some guy goes to me about Skyler, taking a shot. And I say, hey, man, listen, that kid looked like a deer in headlights all year long. I wasn't impressed at all with Skyler. Today, the kid played loose. He waited to the playoffs on the road to play his best game. For a 7th-round pick with a coach that doesn't know how to manage the clock or send in plays on the proper time so he can set up. He set up Skyler to fail on that 3rd down earlier in the game, and he set up his team to fail on the 4th and 1 when they could have kept this drive alive, and we all know anything was possible at that moment. Miami could have driven in that last drive all the way down for a touchdown with no time remaining. And by the way, hot dice. Look out. Josh Boyer's defense gives you a shot every week. So, it's just one of those things. McDaniel lost this game. His clock management has been dog shit most of the year. His decisions at times, they lack. The penalty saved them on that 4th down. My man was going for it on 4th down. And that wasn't a penalty. It was a timeout, right? It was a timeout that the Bills called. Saved his ass. Then he punted. I tweeted out right away, what are you doing? What are you doing? You got to punt here. Your defense your defense gives you a shot every time. And they've been giving them problems. And one of the things that the Bills will give you chances because they will make mistakes. So you roll the dice, and finally he did punt because of the timeout. That was another terrible, terrible idea that you're putting your 7th-round pick in a position to fail. He's got to get better at that. Now, here's the difference. This isn't Cam Cameron. This isn't Brian Flores. This isn't Adam Gase. This isn't Joe Philbin. This isn't Dave Wannstedt. I like this guy. The team likes him. They play hard for him. He's got to grow. I saw Skyler grow today. I was ready to, hey, let's go draft another kid to develop. You know what? I saw enough today that I said, oh, not bad. Now, he's got to streamline the way he calls games. He's got to do something. He's got to have a policeman next to him. I'm not saying to have an offensive coordinator, but he's got to have somebody that is on his ass. Much better. Okay? And let me tell you something. You know who can do that next year? Tua. Tua's the one that's got to ride his ass next year and say, yo, stop effing around. Get me the player. I'll call my own. That's what you do. Get me my player, I'll call my own. Tua's smart enough to do that if he wanted to. I have no problem with that. Just get rid of the ball, Tua. You got to learn there too. Look, I can tell you what I feel today as a Miami Dolphins fan. Yes, I'm a media member for the last 33 years, but I'm a fan. I'm 56 years old, and probably I remember Dolphins football when I was 5 or 6. At that time, which is the early 70s. And yeah, I know I'm old. Very early 70s, and with my dad watching the games. Okay, so I'm going to set aside. I'll give you the media member guy that tells you, hey, Mike McDaniel's been a disaster. as it comes to game management, in-game management. You can tell his game plan works. You can tell his play designs work. You can tell the players love him. You can tell all of that. That's what I'm telling you. This is not any of this stuff. This stuff can all be improved. You can get better at this. Okay? You can do all of this. But I'll tell you, as a Miami Dolphins fan today, I feel really good about this team. This is a super injured team. Give me Brandon Jones. Give me Nick Needham. Give me Byron. I love my Porsches more than my Miami Dolphins Jones. Give me Trill Williams with depth along with Darth Cater. Okay? Give me back Agba. All right? Give me back Tua. And let me see what happens next. And the Dolphins are 3-0 against the Bills this year. They should have won 3 weeks ago. Tyreek and Trent Sherfield dropped touchdowns on the same drive. Braylon Sanders was in the wrong place at the wrong time, because if you put Gesicki in there, that's another thing that Mike McDaniel's a knucklehead. He's ignorant. Oh, my offense, you got to have a blocking tight end and a pass-catching tight end. But there's a weapon, and I'm not going to use it. That's awesome. That makes all the sense in the world. Let me use a weapon. No, let me put a weapon on the sideline and not use it whatsoever. That makes all the sense in the world. And ever since he started playing Gesicki in the last month, what does Gesicki do? That's the only thing he's ever done, which is what? Make plays. So you use Gesicki also. Besides all the injured players, give me Gesicki on the field all the time. Give me Raheem Mostert healthy. The Dolphins are 3-0 against the Bills this year. 3-0. The gap has been shrunken significantly. Do not blind yourself, because this is what's going to happen in the offseason. You're going to have media members with all the sensationalistic bullshit that they're going to be writing. You're going to have ESPN and Fox and CBS and all these idiots trying to cause all kinds of trauma and all kinds of desperation because they got to fill a 24-hour clock. This team, okay, this ain't the Dave Wanstead team. We're close. No. This team is close. This is a really good football team that had a crap ton of injuries, that had every bad freaking break that could possibly go against them exactly went against them this year. You name it, everything from the stinking owners losing a first and a third round pick to take away ammunition. Every bad break. Tua has all kinds of injuries throughout his career. It wasn't really concussions. He had one when he broke his hip because he had you have two 300-pound fat guys land on you. And now not only are you going to get concussions, you're going to break every other bone. You're going to feel like Evel Knievel flying over the water fountains over at Caesars and breaking 800 bones in your body. Of course that's going to happen. But outside of that, it was never. This year, he stays away from no injuries. It had to be all head trauma. It's like it's the weirdest crap that could actually go on to a team. Everything went on. Teron Armstead, for fun, added a new injury after new injury every single week. He was the Evel Knievel, actually, of left tackles. I mean, anything and everything can go wrong. They've played like 7 different tackles. We had a guy named Cotton playing left guard today in Buffalo in a playoff game. Kiss my ass, dude. How much more do you want from this team? They fought, and I don't know how much more we can ask from these people. So I'm super proud of the Miami Dolphins right now. And I would not change the front office. I would not change the coach. I would not change the quarterback. Am I pissed with McDaniel today? Hell yeah, I'm pissed. He ended the season today. Not the players. The coach ended the season today. I've never seen that. Talk about a screwed up year. I've never seen that your quarterback goes down, the next guy goes down one play later, and then you're down to your third. The last couple of weeks was the first time a backup quarterback was able to finish the game, and there were a couple times the Scott got banged up. We're like, oh, my God. You know what I mean? The giraffe is going to have to come in. Listen, you got to compartmentalize the frustrations of the moment, the frustrations of the entire season, all of the injuries, all of the bad luck, every bad break that you can possibly get. Teddy gets mysteriously taken out of a game with no concussion, with a concussion when he didn't have one. This is the kind of stuff that went on this year that was so unacceptable. And it was so frustrating this year because it gutted the season. It gutted the team. And yet they kept fighting, and they kept fighting, and they kept fighting. Look, X, that guy's like 70% of what he used to be. Made some plays on the back end there. Got beat a whole bunch of times too, but, he hung in there. It's hard, man. It's just, this is like, it's a frustrating end, but I don't believe it's nearly as bad as people want to make it out to be. And I don't believe I'm lying to myself. I see it, man. How depleted is this team? And they went to Buffalo with their third quarterback, a 7th rounder, and they took him to the end. And the team was ready to possibly win that game with as depleted as they were. And it was the freaking head coach that got a sword and stabbed him right in the heart. Because I would imagine that Mike McDaniel's telling everybody in that locker room and looking at him eye to eye, I apologize. I lost this game for you guys. We would have gotten the 4th and 1. We could have kept this drive going. We don't know what happens after that. Sanders, dude, you're playing with a hot foot. What's the worst case scenario? Feel good about a tie. Overtime, anything can happen. At the point that the Dolphins the players put themselves in a position that we felt like now you had a chance. And the coach gutted you like a fish. Just gutted your ass right there. And he's got to get better, and he should feel guilty about it because he's screwed up most of the wins, most of the losses. Most of the losses, as you all know, I've said it on this show over and over again. Oh, I'm sorry, what did the defense do again this week? Oh, yeah, they gave you a chance to win again. It's really amazing. They even scored a touchdown for you. The special teams added 3 points. And yet, the offense was the sticking point in the whole thing. It's the weirdest thing. The weaker unit was the one that kind of was more steady. It was tough, man. But don't allow the FUD out there, the fear, the uncertainty, the doubt. Do not allow it to creep in. Okay? This team is on the right track. They've just got to fix a couple of things here, and they'll be good. I'm telling you, they're good. I like this coach. He'll figure things out. I believe he's too smart not to understand this. We see him every day. We talk to him. We hear from him. He's a smart guy. Sometimes smart people out even smart themselves. Okay? There's a thing called intelligence. There's a thing called common sense, right? And sometimes they don't collide, right? Robert Kraft's an incredibly intelligent man. Common sense says don't go to the Asian day spa. So these are the things that you just kind of, intelligence is there. But sometimes you're what? You're going on 4th down? No, that's where common sense, no, you can't do that, bro. And that's my point there too, So we shall see. We shall see. But I believe that they are headed in the right direction. I really do. The question is, has Jason Sanders done enough? Because the last couple of weeks he's hit some field goals. Today he was big. I would have felt good about him, by the way, trying another field goal here. Remember, you can reach out to us on Twitter at Big O Show, right here on the YouTube chat board that I see there's a ton of folks. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to hit the like button, man. Let's get this thing well over 1,000 likes today. Come on, help us here on the final day to get us over. We got 1,600 people watching, and there's 159 likes. Come on, man. Come on. We give you the passion. Marcel Louis Jacques, by the way, will be joining us from the locker room. So we'll talk to Marcel. And we'll get the latest from the Miami Dolphins locker room. Remember, you can also make a donation, send your questions, your comments, your insults, even if you have a compliment on Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show at Cash App or Venmo. As always, we get 100% of the donations there. Here, we get 70. YouTube takes 30. That's why we tell you Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. Michelle Cracciola says, very proud of the boys today on Venmo. Thank you. They left everything out there on the field and made Buffalo look average. The future is very bright. Thanks, Big O. I feel we'll be banging pots and pans very soon. I'm with you. I feel good about the team. I really do. I know it sucks today, but I think McDaniel can grow from this. These are the kind of things I still want to build from. Alex Palenzuela, McDaniel is a horrible game day coach. Let's hope Tua comes back and stays healthy. Amen. John Nazaran, thank you for the love on Venmo. Cash Big O Show. That's Cash Big O Show. What in the frick was going on with the play clock today? Horrible clock management. Horrible, yeah. And it's happened several times this year. Greg says, interesting offseason. Yeah. On Venmo, thank you. Cash Big O Show. That's Cash Big O Show. Peter German, also on Venmo. Coach is a effing idiot. 4th and 1, and he's taking 20 seconds to send in a shotgun play. I'm so disgusted. Tyler actually played a decent game. He did. Tyler played a good game, man. You think about it. When you have a crazy ass coach like this that can't figure out what the hell to do, it's impressive. It's actually impressive what Skylar did, as kind of almost confused as McDaniel is on the sidelines. And remember, on Cash App or Venmo, you can send in a little Bitcoin. Stephen M., thank you. Appreciate you. Send in a little Bitcoin. I appreciate that. That's my favorite donation. Little Bitcoin. You can send it on Cash App or Venmo, which we always love that, as Bitcoin has been pushing in the 20s, almost to 21. All right, Sean, let's start with some super chats. What do you got there? Craig Sagaro, we lost. That was one hell of a game. Proud of the team. You should be, Carlos. We all should be really proud, man. Thank you, sir, for the super chat. Next up, it is Christian. Great game, but you can't have a delay of game coming out of a play clock being reset. I mean, come on. No. I've said this for several weeks. McDaniel has a ton to learn in clock management. He sucks. He sucks as a game day coach. He's a mediocre game day coach, and he cost you several games this year. This isn't the only game that McDaniel has cost you. He's cost several games this year, and he owes those players a lot. They played hard for him. He failed them at times. Thank you, Christian. Next up, Pat in Nashville. Proud of this team today. Now get rid of Boyer, Crossman, training staff, and send McDaniel to game management 101 school. Well, I disagree with you on Boyer. And the training staff is fine, Pat. That's silly. It's just bad luck. Next up, Kevin Beal, thank you, by the way. Did Skylar set records for incompletions in a playoff game? He had 27. Also, if he gives us at least a 60 passer rating, we might have had 44. Wait a minute. Hold on a second. How many drops were there? The second Waddle drop, I don't blame him for, because that was a bad pass by Skylar. But the first Waddle drop, the Hill drop, Jeff Wilson Jr. takes his eyes completely off the ball. And then there was one more drop. There were like 4 drops in that game. By the way, the Dolphins are one of the top teams in the NFL in drop passes. So it's not just a Skyler thing. Tua had to deal with the same stuff. You give those catches to Skyler, he's a 7th-round pick. How much more do you want from the kid? Your coach can't get the call in on time. He puts the kid in a terrible position on the 3rd down earlier in the game. All right. Then he put the kid in a terrible position on 4th and 6. He puts Skyler at times in positions to fail, my brother. Kevin, you got to watch the game, dude, before you pick on Skyler today. Look, I'm the first guy that says, Skyler got to show me some or we're out of here. He did a really good job today overall. His receivers failed him at times. Of course, he's going to make some mistakes, but his coach failed him. I disagree with you, the picking on Skyler. Thank you for the super chat, but we're going to disagree here. I think you're a little too harsh on Skyler. Next up, it is Topher. Boyer just saved his job. His defense has kept him the entire year. All your losses are because of your offense. Every single one of them. There's not one game in the season that the offense was red hot and the defense gave up more points. Not one. That's pretty amazing. Not one. So we disagree, Topher. Soul King Ryu, why is running the ball in short yardage an issue? Well, you had a new left tackle, a new left guard. Your left tackle needs surgery, has 5 injuries. Your right guard just moved from playing left tackle for the last year and a half, and now you have a right tackle that was playing right guard. And by the way, we love Robert Hunt. He does commit a penalty or two almost every game. He's got to clean that up. But I'm sure he'll tell you that because he's pretty honest with himself. True Fin fan, thank you, sir. This is no longer Buffalo's division to lose. A healthy Dolphins team, we sweep them and win today. I don't care what anybody else says next year. Damn right. That's how I feel, True Fin fan. I feel really good about this team, bro. This was all about bad luck for the Dolphins this year. They hung with them now with this team. Buffalo could only beat them by 3 points at their house. Are you kidding me? You know, if you have Tua, you win by 14 points. Let's go. Thank you, True Fin fan. GM hindsight, that is. Thank you, sir. I like McDaniel, but I felt all season these late play calling in related to his speech cadence call me crazy. I don't know. Whatever it is, I get it. He sounds like a stoner that would be hanging out with Spicoli. Because when you listen to McDaniel talk, you know, I like to keep my stoner references a little bit more dated. So nowadays I use Wiz Khalifa, but in this case, I have to go all the way back to Spicoli. So you young people have no idea who Spicoli is. And Spicoli is what Wiz Khalifa is to us now, basically. So he was like the world stoner, but McDaniel looks like he should be falling out of that van with all that smoke coming out of it. Excuse me. That's who McDaniel sounds like. But still, you gotta do a better call. And by the way, you've heard the stoner all year long. You should be used to his voice. GM hindsight, thank you. Leon Fresco, proud of the team, proud of your coverage, Big O. McDaniel is a blessing and a curse. Great preparation coach, but needs to improve game management in every way. Convince Fitz to come back as backup. No, I don't want Fitz as a backup. No. You need something a little younger than that already at this point. But I appreciate it, Leon. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Next up is Sam. Proud 14-point dogs, and they played their hearts out and nearly won. Tua plays, different result, promising future. That's it. I'm with you, Sam. Thank you, my brother. Appreciate you. Tom Wilson, Big O, thank you for your 33 years. Listening to you since Marino. Despite all the offensive mistakes, as Maxima said, I was entertained. Till next season, blessings to you and your family. Thank you, Tom. Appreciate you. Leon Fresco again. McDaniel press conference is slow and meandering to say basic stuff. Play calling is same problem. He has a problem speaking, thinking quickly. Maybe. All I know is he better practice it off season is what he better do. Have some kind of virtual thing going where they're throwing, all of a sudden they give him a defensive formation and he makes the quick call already. And that's he's got to start practicing and calling different things. The truth says Josh Boyer got to stay. Skylar Costas. No, dude, I disagree with you, bro. Skylar did more than enough for a 7th round pick in that position with a coach that really is not organized. And that hurts Teddy. That hurts Tua. He's got to get more organized. His mind is phenomenal. Phenomenal. I mean, I love the play designs. Here's where I would become a stinking hypocrite. And for those of you that are new to the channel in the last couple of months or whatever, and you weren't with us during the flow rides in the last couple of years, one of the things that I hated about the flow rides were, not flow rider, you're good with me, but the flow rides is what I hated was that there was no offense and there was no rhythm to anything. And play design and play calling were terrible. The play design here, the play calling is phenomenal. What he has to do is find the organizational thing to it, where it's run tighter. It's you get to the line of scrimmage cleaner. You know what I mean? And you're more effective. And I don't want mistakes. There's way too many mistakes. Players don't all the time know where they're supposed to be. And that's why Braylon Sanders stops in the middle of a route when he's supposed to go deep for a touchdown. And that's why Jeff Wilson falls backward when he's supposed to stop and come forward, and there goes an interception. And these are the things that happen throughout the year. Waddle by himself, by the way, Waddle's another thing. Waddle's got to clean up his game. He has too many drops throughout the year. He lost a game all by himself this year. You guys remember that? He made 2 brutal mistakes that cost the team a game. And these are things that you've got to clean up. Robert Hunt's got to clean up his penalties at the line. He's a fantastic player. Jalen Waddle is a beautiful wide receiver. That man is awesome, okay? But he has too many drops. He has to clean up the drops. He has to limit those drops. Tyreek Hill has had his share of a couple drops lately. Earlier in the season, he wasn't dropping as many. Second half of the season, with some of the turmoil that's gone on and the inconsistencies with quarterbacks, he's had a couple of drops. Okay, these are things. Kohu, he picks up, maybe a one hold too many sometimes, right? But those are things. He's a young kid, man. Division II. Jalen Waddle's a young receiver in a brand new offense now, finally, instead of that thing that had him straddled to being a possession guy that could get 6-yard catches, which is play design, play calling, not understanding what your talent is and all that kind of stuff. And with Tua, you didn't try to do the things that McDaniel's doing. You didn't open it up, all that kind of stuff. That's what frustrated the crap out of me. And then that's what made some of you, oh, no, Tua can't throw deep, this and that. No, bro, it's not that. You have the wrong people calling plays. You have the wrong coaches. So I'm not giving up on Mike McDaniel. I don't care what anybody tells me. I think the guy has all the potential in the world to be a fantastic coach. Now, does he need some common sense? Yeah. Will he be Spo-like? Because Spo, while he learns from Riley in the offseason, he would go to different coaches and different sports to talk to different coaches on how they do things. And that's what you want to do. And so I hope McDaniel brings in somebody that can also give him some advice and some guidance and those kind of things. I think that's important for him. All right, who's next? John Russell, so proud of the team to not only make it competitive, but also a legitimate chance to win it. Hashtag fins up. Thank you, John Russell. I'm with you, man. Super proud of the team. Diego, thank you out there, Dolphin. Appreciate you. Fuego. Jose Lucas, next season will be the first time since high school that Tua will enter the same offense, coaching staff next season. Division is a must-win now. And if you're healthy, you can win it, man. Feel really good about it. Thank you, Jose. Sean Murray, so proud of this team today. Played their asses off and had Buffalo on the ropes. McDaniel has to get the play calling right. He will. I have faith that he will. Go ahead. Next up. Guy Brown, Big O. Learning how to win is an exercise. McDaniel is learning. These plays are too long. That will be adjusted. I agree. He's got to streamline it. Humble legend. Mike McDaniel is what my grandma would call too smart for his own good with his play calling. Nonetheless, this has been my most fun season as a fan since the Wildcat season. Fins up next year. I'm with you, man. I'm not touching a damn thing. I'm keeping everything together. I'm hoping, look, the front office can maneuver enough to add a couple of players that they need. The coach, the head coach will have the power he wants to make any changes he wants to his staff. That's fine. He will have time also to reassess what he's got to do, and I think he can improve. Tua this offseason. I know there's a plan in place because I told you on Thursday they're moving forward with him. So don't listen to any of the Brady stuff. Remember, I told you that on Thursday, right? So when I tell you this, it's because, I'm not guessing these kind of things. So I'm hoping now that Tua in this plan going forward, it's not just the helmet that Kenny Pickett wears and all that. That's great. But it's him awareness of adjusting his game so he can play the next play in the next series. And I think he can do that also because he showed elements of it this year. Didn't stick with it, and that's why we're here at this mess. So let's hope he can do. I think all of this can be corrected because you're right there, man. You're right there. All right, Sean. Next up, sir, please. Remember, you can make a donation through Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show. Or make a Bitcoin donation, too. Big O, this is Tyon. Big O, the late play calling been going on all year. I've been paying attention to. Even when Tua was playing, the play calling was coming. Oh, yeah. It's been an issue the entire time. His game management is terrible. I think sometimes some guy reached out to me 2 weeks ago and goes, "You're being too harsh on Coach McDaniel. He's a good man." And I'm like, yeah, he's a great man. I like him. I like his style. I like his personality. I like his wit. I love his intelligence. I love his play calling. His game management sucks. I'm sorry. And I go, I'm not trying to be mean. I'm just being honest. We all have things that we got to work on. Guess what? He's not a bad coach. He gets respect in the locker room. He gets the most out of his players. He's super smart. He knows quarterbacks. The offensive line, even with backups to backups, they've played the best they've played in the last couple of years. So there's so much light at the end of the tunnel. Do you think that I'm going to be feeling bad about one little aspect? It's huge, but he's got to fix it. Oh, dude. Now, if we're talking about this by the end of next season, we got a problem. Okay? We got a problem. All right? Just like I tell you, anybody could have a good month, a good week, a good year. The real pros show you when they come back the second year to do it again. And then again, and you know that you're there and you belong. Well, if you're going to make all these mistakes and then you're going to come back the following year and you're going to make all those mistakes again, well, then, yeah, we got a problem. And you're not learning. And that's a detriment to the team. But making mistakes is part of life. It's part of human nature. It's who we are because we are imperfect. Every job you start, every new venture you take, every kind of thing that you tackle, and I don't care if you're in gaming, I don't care if you're in law, I don't care if you're in architecture, I don't care. You're going to learn and you're going to make mistakes along the way because you're trying something new. Whatever it is that you do, right? And then you got to then master it. Doesn't matter what it is. And he just took over as a head coach. Did I expect him to become a perfect coach? No, but damn, dude, you went through all this adversity, you still made the playoffs, and you almost beat one of the best teams in the AFC on the road. I'm good. I'm good. I'm with you, man. I got your back. Just got to focus and get it done. All right, Sean, what's next? Irving. The boys put up a fight. Future is bright. Thanks for all you do, Big O. Thank you, Irving. Appreciate you, my man. Appreciate the super chat. Next up, David Barrera. Wide receivers' fault this game. Skyler did amazing. Yeah, the wide receivers dropped some passes. Big time. Big time. Sage Nocera. Thank you. Sending me some Bitcoin, man. I love it. Very nice of you. Let me see, what was your message here? Here we go. Oh, damn it. Where are we? Here we go, Sage. Avid listener, and just want to thank you. And Sean, thank you, Sage. Appreciate you, man, sending me some Bitcoin. And David Barrera, thank you also for sending us Cash App, man. Thank you, sir. And David says for Dolphins for life, thank you, sir. Cash App or Venmo, that is Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show. John Tucker on Venmo. Heartbroken, but we competed when others said we couldn't. All Fins fans should be pumped for next season, and thank you all for keeping me sane the last 2 months. I will, and remember, we're going to be at the Senior Bowl in 2 weeks, so I'll be broadcasting from Mobile, so we'll get you ready for the next season, and we start working on Dolphins 2023 at the end of the month. It doesn't stop here. Our coverage will be year-round, so thank you, John Tucker. I appreciate you. I feel great about this offseason. I feel good about the Dolphins. This was the ending I needed to a really, really rough season, personally for me. You guys can look at it however you want, and if you want to go down that negative tunnel, you can go, and there'll be plenty of people swimming with you in that negative river. Plenty of people that hate Tua and hate Chris Greer and hate Josh Boyer and hate 9-8 and hate that they lost and hate that Skyler didn't play like, Dan Marino or whatever. You could find all those people, in that swamp. Enjoy yourselves, knock yourselves out. I like the direction this franchise is going in. Armando Swaim, thank you on Venmo. I remember you saying if the penalties continue, it's on the coaching midseason, but it didn't improve or improvise, like you say. Yeah, no, it's that McDaniel's he's got to improve on that, man. I'm not gonna. As much as I like him, he's got that one thing he's got to fix, and his team's got to play a hell of a lot cleaner. If they do that, they add themselves a couple of wins. That's how screwed up of a season this is. Look how many within one score losses with all of these injuries, with your backup to backup quarterbacks. Your games are within reach right there. That if you have some of these pieces, if you make the right decisions, just like today, you put yourself in a completely different light. He's got to find a way to play cleaner. I'm with you there, Armando. John Geeb, Tua would have feasted today. I pray for his health next year. Much love for a great broadcast all season. Oh, with love, brother. McDrip would benefit from OC play calling. Not yet. Let's see if he can get through it this next season, because other guys can do it, so he can do it. But if he cannot figure out how to streamline it and make it clean next year, you are correct. Then yes, I love his mind too much that I want him watching the game and reacting and reading instead of kind of relaying, which might even take even longer for him to, wait, I'm picking seeds out. Okay, here's a run this, John, thank you, sir. Appreciate you. Anthony Lizzie. People can say the same old Dolphins, but this feels different. I think McDaniel will learn that, combined with healthy Tua with better equipment. Look out next year. Anthony, I'm with you, man. I feel great about this team. Steve Croup, also on Venmo. That is Cash Big O Show. That's Cash Big O Show. Proud of the boys. Used to be the Waddle and Hill show, but pretty quiet, and we still almost won. Yeah, that's why when people tell you what Tua does is easy, what Tua does is incredibly hard. Marco Ferrante. Thank you, sir. So proud of our Finns. McDaniel owns this loss. The team is so close right now. Bring on the draft and next season. Thank you, Owen and Sean, for all your fantastic pre- and post-game coverage throughout the season. Let's go, Finns. Thank you, Marco. Appreciate you all, man. Thank you all out there, as always. Let's go to the Cash App there. Next up, Sean Stanley, sir. It is Dustin. Traveled from Canada with the girlfriend to watch the game. Expected a blowout, but a close game hurts more. Proud of the Finns, but bummed out trying to cheer up. No, I'm with you. Dustin, it hurt. And listen, God bless you, man. You made it to the game. And all of you Dolphins at the game. You guys are my heroes. Really, being at the game. That's just absolute. That's why I remember that guy that was asking me, should I go? And I said, of course you go, man. You don't worry about all the negativity. You just go. You go with your son. You go. Some guy asked me about it. Should I go with my son? And, hell yeah, dude. And look, so you lost, but there's a reason why you lost. Buffalo fans can't walk out of that stadium going, oh, yeah, we feel great. Buffalo fans are going, oh, shit. I hope Miami never gets healthy. That's what they're saying, buddy. Okay? You know how that feeling we had deep down in our gut at the beginning of this game that we were fearing 45-10 because, oh my God, everything would implode? Well, it didn't. And none of the games have imploded. Remember how they used to implode all these games? All three of them. None of them were implosions. They were all right there. Okay? Those Buffalo Bills know, dude. They know that they just can't have this team for lunch like they used to in Feast and all that. They saw these 3 games were a war. And they came out with 2 of them, but there's a reason why they came out with those 2. Okay? And it was pretty much that Miami handed them those games. They know it. Deep down inside, they know it. You better feel better about this Miami Dolphins team and this future. I love what I'm seeing from this team, man. It's just a crap season with all the bad luck, pretty much that went on. That's all I can tell you. Terrence Adamore, thank you for the love on Cash App at Cash Big O Show. Agree, Tua can play, but this team needs a QB. Well, they're going to get a backup QB, but they're not going to get anything that anything like that. They'll just get an Andy Dalton, a Joe Flacco, a Gardner Minshew, something like that, I think is what you're going to see, my man. Not anything else. So next up there, Sean. Antonio Ingram. Damn, had Buffalo again and let them off the hook. That's right. They did. They let them off the hook. I'm with you there. Thank you, my brother. Chris Draves. Thank you, sir. 18 for 45 is enough. He played like crap. D played well. Let's be honest, Bigo. He did not play like crap, bro. The coach set him up for several of those downs that were bad. He had about 4 drop passes, which would have helped out overall. He's a 7th-round pick. What more do you want from him, dude? I'm sorry. Chris, are you expecting Dan Marino? You can only have so much, and then you have a maniacal coach that takes forever to get the plays into the kid. He did all right, man. I can't pick on the kid. And they could have caught some balls for him. It would have really helped out. So we'll disagree on that one. I can't pick on the kid. Next up, it is Adolfo Foliaco. Are you still disappointed in this season? Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm disappointed overall. Yes. Yeah, because of McDaniel. McDaniel has to do better. They could have won a few more games. He lost the game today, But again, look where they're at. They're shooting themselves in their own feet. Okay, so if they kind of fix a little bit of those things, less penalties, better clock management, get the plays in cleaner on time, catch some passes, keep some people healthy, everything changes and the whole atmosphere changes. Keep the owners away from doing stupid things where you lose draft picks. those kind of things, and everything will be fine. Yeah, again, FUD, fear, uncertainty, and doubt. Don't get caught up in the negativity. While there's some of that here that messed up this season, it doesn't make it that it was, you can't fix it. This is all very fixable. You can clean it up. So thank you, Adolfo. Next up, it is Alex Gispert. Looked like a TCU blowout, but they fought hard in spite of of Coach MM. Proud of the boys. Pissed at Coach Mark Anthony. They outperformed my expectations today. All I could have really asked for. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, but McDaniel has a lot to grow. Yeah, and I love the TCU reference that we all kind of feared a TCU type game. Michael Daniels, thank you for the love on the super chat, my man. Appreciate you. Mario Biovidis. Things are looking up. Although McDaniel needs to improve on 43, this was the best we've given the Bills in the playoffs in some time. No, whole year. It's 3 games. Remember that. I also don't get caught up in the moment. Don't get caught up in the negativity. Look at the totality and look at the 3 games. It shows you there's not much of a difference. There's no reason a Dolphins fan should feel nervous about a Bills game at home or away. They're both winnable. From here on out. I'm telling you. So just look at the totality of it. Okay? All the games right there. So, Mario, thank you, sir. Appreciate you. Playoffs in some time. Oh, thank you for another season of giving us the best Fins coverage. Thank you, Mario. Appreciate you. Just don't allow the negativity to get to you. Stay away from those people. Guy Brown. Big O, I believe Tua can call his own plays. He is a cross between Greasy and Marino. That's his gift. We need more Greasy than Marino. No, but you brought up something very interesting, Guy. I talked about this in the pregame show. Okay, and I know that a lot of you tune in more to the postgame show than the pregame show. We see the numbers. It's pretty obvious, I talked about this in the pregame show. Tua's the one guy that once he gets to know second season now, he and the team starts to become your team, you got to be hearing and going, hey, I need the player. I'm going with my own. And that's what he does. So Tua has to get to the point now next season where he is fast enough, which I think he can be, to figure this is taking too long. I got to get something in myself to make sure and overcome this. So I think that's important. Once the quarterback grows into the position and becomes the veteran quarterback of it, in those kind of moments, maybe you cut him off and you just say, I got to get something in, coach. Boom. And that's it. Now, that should never get to that point because McDaniel needs to fix this by next year. There's no ands, if, or buts. There's no maybe, we'll work on it. No. This needs to be fixed next year. All right, let's go. Next up. Leon says, we didn't have anything left for KC anyway. That's not true. A little barbecue would have inspired them. They would have smelled it. I tell you, just give me and Sean some barbecue. We're ready. Right, Sean? Little barbecue, we're ready to go. See? By the way, Sean, did I hit the prediction on the wrestling? Wasn't there one like yesterday or something? Oh, no. All right, let's go next. Who's after Leon? Thank you, Leon. As always, you're a stud. Uber Beaner says, it's been a bipolar season. Okay. We have a good foundation for success, though. I'm going to miss Mike Gesicki. Me too, man. What pisses me off most about the Mike Gesicki thing is that McDaniel was too stubborn to find a way to use him. And that's pathetic because that dude's a playmaker. But I am going to miss him because he is – you saw him – he got caught in the elevator at his pad the other day. I don't know if you guys saw that. I think he still has it on his Instagram. And he's like, hey, if I call you, please answer. I'm bored. He was stuck in his elevator in his condo for like an hour or two or something. So I love Gesicki, dude. Great human being. always treated every moment with the most professionalism possible. Somebody's going to sign a terrific tight end, and he's going to be one hell of a playmaker for an offense. And I got to tell you something. As long as he's not playing the Dolphins, I'm going to be rooting every time I look for that TV and I look for Mike Gesicki. I will be rooting for that guy. Good dude, man. Good dude. Somebody's going to get a good person and one hell of a playmaker like that dude. Thank you, Uberbeener. Appreciate you. Tom Perrin. I'm 50, live 70 miles from Buffalo, and have endured these years. I wear the aqua and orange with pride and really believe we are getting close. Thank you for everything. Thank you, Tom. Appreciate you. And they are. They're right there, man. They're right there. Got to clean up your own, and you'll be good. William Quigley. Yeah, baby. What's up, dude? I never lost trust in the team. There were too many drops, penalties, and time management. Bad call deep in Buffalo territory. We could and should have won this game. Yeah, could have. And McDaniel needs to grow from it, Will. He really does. By the way, William, of course, is CuttersEdgePro.com for your total landscaping solution in Dade, Broward, and Palm Beach counties. There it is. You always see the commercials. They're the ones that pump us up the most because that song and everything is one of the best commercials that we have out there. Will, thank you, my brother. Appreciate you. 954-472-0622 for Cutter's Edge Pro. All right. Next up is Toby Maramorino. McD should call out a number from his call sheet that correlates with the play on the QB's wristband instead of having to call out the full play easier. They all do this shit, dude. They all do the red right 47, slant 46-3, hook 9, Alfira. Huh? Yeah. They all do this shit, dude. Go look up the video of Chris Sims and John Gruden practice play calling. Put that and whatever. It'll come up. I'm sure of it. And Chris Sims can't get the play right. He can't even call the play. So it shows you how complicated this crap is and all the things that they have to remember. But seriously, go check out that video. It's hilarious too. So next time you hear, Chris Sims talk about guys, it's like, yeah, okay, right, dude. Yeah. I saw what kind of a mess you were. It's like listening to Tony Romo. Oh, this drive, we're going to see all about, Skylar Thompson and if he can come through in big moments in the clutch in the playoffs. And I'm sitting there going, yeah, just like you, Tony, Mr. Clutch. Yeah. All right, next up. That was, wow. Malkowick, I'm a pessimist, Dolphin fan, but this is the first time I have hope going into the offseason in 10 years. There you go. If we can convince Malkowick that things are good, we can convince anyone. Thank you, my brother. Finns TD23, need a healthy team. Sick to my stomach. We had the W. I know. Can't argue with that one. Thank you, my brother. Alex Brown. Big O, can you elaborate on off-season plans, please? Can you tell us what they plan on doing to improve from your knowledge, please? Well, for the moment, I can tell you what they plan on is moving forward with Tua. Okay? That I can tell you. What the backup plans are, give me some time. I will find out a little bit more before free agency. Okay? But you got to give me some time here. I will be able to hit the off season now. I'm going to go to the Senior Bowl. So we'll be there. And thank God, man, I haven't gone to the Senior Bowl in 3 years. And so I look forward to hitting the road and talking to NFL people again. So that's going to be good. Looking forward to it. So give me some time, but I can tell you they are moving forward with Tua. He's the guy. It's just a matter of, I'm sure, helping some of the other areas out that they need to solidify a little bit more on the line, and then find out what you're going to do with your backup position. Next up. David VH says, sending support from NYC. We will be dangerous in 2023 with Needham, Jones, and others coming back along with a full year with Chubb. Fins up. Damn right. I'm with you. Thank you, sir. Chris Travez, seems like the refs favored the Bills back-to-back weeks. I get the injury thing, or come on. I'm not going to say that the refs had anything to do with this game, bro. I got to lay this on Mike McDaniel. You know, that's what I got to lay it on. Can't do it anywhere else. We're expecting Marcel Louis-Jacques, by the way, any minute now. He's going to be chiming in. Next up is, remember, you can also send in a donation, question, comment by Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show on Cash App or Venmo. What's next there, Sean? We're good? We caught up to all of them? Awesome. All right. And I think we got Frankie Fresco. Thank you, Frankie, for a little love. He sent us some Bitcoin. He sent 2. Thank you. Appreciate you, man. Very nice. Very nice, sir. That is awesome. Omar S. sent in some Bitcoin. Thank you for, I'd rather stay on here than go listen to the Willie Nelson right now. Thank you and Sean for the hard work. Appreciate you, man. That is very nice of you. Thank you. Those are my favorite. As you all know, those are my favorite. They're all important, of course, but nothing like a little Bitcoin to add to the pot there. I guess we're these are the new ones right here that I have not seen. Brian Brogan, thank you, sir, for the love on the super chat with a sticker that says epic fail. I love the sticker. And I can't argue with the man. It was an epic fail by Mike McDaniel. Matthew Marquez, thank you for the love on the super chat. Maybe the biggest what if season ever. All the injuries, and we still almost beat the best team in football with a decimated team. I know. It does become a what if. It's what we have to sit on for the rest of the year. But think about this. Usually it's disappointment. This time it's more like, damn, dude, this held us back, and this held us back, and this held us back. And that's why I keep telling you, don't listen to the FUD. Don't allow the people to fill you up with all kinds of negativity, this, that. There was a lot of things that stopped the Dolphins from being even better than what they were this year. That's the way I look at it. All the injuries to the line, the injuries to the quarterback, which were this time concussions, like, holy crap, 3 concussions? Come on, dude. This is like ridiculous. These are things that you just didn't expect. The training camp starts with the whole Byron Jones mess, with then Trill Williams, then it's Nick Needham, then it's Brandon Jones. I mean, come on, dude. Emmanuel Ogbah. You trade for Chubb, you lose Ogbah the following week. And by the way, I'm watching Jalen Phillips play, and he's going to be a monster. You just see it. Christian Wilkins, they'll give him his bag. He'll be awesome. And Sealer, you got to bring him back. There's a lot of things to like. Javon Holland is a beast. Cater Kohu's going to grow. He'll play the... See you, Byron Jones. I'm good with Cater, man. I'll put Nick Needham back in the slot. I got Cater on the outside. I got Trill for some depth. You get Brandon Jones back. Get the hell out of here, dude. This secondary is going to be badass next year. And knowing these dudes, they'll find like another guy somewhere undrafted, like they've done already with Needham, with Trill, and now Kohu. Well, who knows? Maybe that Vernon McKinley kid all of a sudden starts. Who knows? But there's a lot of potential all over the place. You got 2 of the most dynamic receivers in the NFL. Ezukama will probably now get some elevation next year. Hopefully he grows. Channing Tindall has a year of learning. Now he'll have an offseason. Now, hopefully, he'll be better prepared. His body will be fuller, everything for this game. Hopefully, he can grow from last season, from this season, that is. So, to me, there's a lot of stuff to feel really good about. It's just a lot of stuff held them back. And it wasn't really other teams. It was more about from within, bad luck or self-inflicted wounds. You know what I'm saying? Penalties here, mental mistakes, head coach not doing some of the right things, bad play calling sometimes, and when you got the run going, you don't stick to it. All these kind of things that he's got to tweak. That if it's working, keep it simple, stupid. That's it. Your defense is playing well. Today, you were going to go for it on 4th down from your own 34 or 33, I think it was, whatever the hell it was. Are you out of your mind? You're in this game. You punt it. You play the field position game, which is what he didn't do with the Jets the week before. In the first quarter, you're playing no offense, dude. What are you doing going for it at midfield? Why are you giving them a short field? And then you ended up losing field position for the entire quarter because the Jets owned you in there, and then made it that much harder for you to get it out. Instead, you're supposed to punt. You're supposed to pin Flacco and company. That way, maybe you can force a turnover on them. That way, you can maintain field position. There are things that he does that are head-scratching. So most of this stuff was self-inflicted. It wasn't really that they were outmatched by a bunch of teams this year. Oh my God, they don't belong. Screw that, dude. They belong there. They just got to fix their own stuff. Fix your house. Correct it. And then you're going to be able to maybe even make some noise in the playoffs, like what we thought they looked like. So thank you, Matthew. Alex Gispert says, how can we run a 2-minute drive next year if it takes 3 minutes to call a play? Just kidding. Gonna miss your post-game show, brother. Thanks for this year. Hey, remember, we're on every day at 10 a.m., so you guys can tune in. We got plenty of Dolphin segments all week long, all off season. We're going to be at the Senior Bowl at the end of the month. We're going to be at the Combine in, late February, I think it is. We'll be at the Combine, so we're going to be covering everything for you. So we're the only platform in South Florida that's going to be doing that, right? Nobody on TV does that. Nobody on radio. They don't have enough money to go to the corner and buy a hot dog. Alex Brown, thank you for love on the super chat. He says, you think we get a new jersey next year? I don't know. I don't know what the rules are, my brother, if they have to announce that a year ahead of time, or I don't know what the hell it is. So I don't know. Would be nice to go back to the original logo, but put a little modern spin on it. I don't have a problem with that. Frankie Fresco, thank you for the love on the super chat. I had a blast in Buffalo with my brother. We even saw Greg Cody's son. Okay, cool. What is it? Chris Cody, I think is the kid's name. A lot of Bills fans were giving us respect. They were worried. Of course, man. They see it. They know that the Dolphins aren't a pushover anymore. They know the Dolphins are right there, Frankie. Right there. Thank you, my brother. Brochi's podcast. Thank you, sir, for the love on the super chat. Very nice of you. U-Town. We need to move on from Tua. He does not know how to read defenses. He's a system-based QB, does not know how to go through progressions. Okay. All right, U-Town, appreciate the super chat. And you know what we have for U-Town, Sean? What do we give Mr. U-Town?
Save your brain cells. Stupid chat. Stupid chat. Stupid chat.
Appreciate the stupid chat. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Brochi's podcast again is in. Thank you, Brochi. Appreciate you. Mauricio Bautista says McDaniel has a lot of learning to do as a rookie coach. Made some mistakes, 4th and 1 play, needs to be way better. Hopefully he learns from this and we can improve next year. Amen. I'm with you, man. I'm with you. Armando Trujillo, thank you on Cash App. He says, can people stop with Brady to Miami? Well, yeah, that's, you can't do anything about stupidity, my brother. It ain't going to happen. Keep trying to tell people that it ain't going to happen. We told you on Thursday that it was Tua moving forward. I know Schefter and company today broke it, but we already talked about it on Thursday. We told you that they were going and moving forward. So all that Brady, you have the Lamar Jackson clowns too. A guy that has no accuracy, that's the guy you want. That's freaking hilarious. A guy that can't win in the playoffs, that's the guy. Anyway, Lisa, thank you for the love on Venmo, Lisa. Tua would have made a huge difference today. Defense stepped it up. Skyler missed a lot of throws, but clock management doomed us. So proud of our guys. Thank you, Lisa, on Venmo. Appreciate it. Paul Vereb, also on Venmo. Thank you, sir. Remember Venmo or Cash App. That's Cash Big O Show. That's Cash Big O Show. Off-season, number 1, sign Gesicki. That's not going to happen. 2, sign Gesicki. 3, sign Gesicki. It's not going to happen, brother. He's moving on. This guy's kind of set in his ways. He's going to want a guy that can block a little more. Stand-up guy, great attitude. He's one of those guys you build a team around. If you can't figure out how to use him, McDaniel, as one of our best tight ends in the league, you're not that good. I understand Peter's I understand Paul Vereb's anger. Paul should be angry because this is a guy that they drafted and has turned into one hell of a player. And this year, and even last year, Flo also played Smythe more. You have a guy that is super dynamic and you can't find a way to play him. I see him in a wide open offense next year, and somebody's going to get themselves one hell of a player. I'm telling you, one hell of a player. Steve M., once again, thank you on Venmo. Hey, why is Tua not allowed to attend games to cheer on the team or help Skyler? The doctors may have told them that they didn't want him flying or something. I don't know, dude. That part, Steve, I have no idea. I don't have insight on that medical stuff, so who knows why they didn't have him there. There could be something else to it, so I'm not going to jump to any conclusion in the end. Ray Martinez, big time thank you on Cash App, my man. That is strong. Go Dolphins, future is bright. Great job, Big O. Thank you, my friend. Appreciate you. Thank you. Who else we got here? Appreciate all of you out there. Let me see. Do we have another super chat, Sean? Did I miss any? Okay, cool. All right. I think I might have. Let me see. Did I get somebody here? I did. Yes. Okay. We got that. Okay. Thank you all out there, man. As always, very nice. The party's over, Bubba. Don't want a fragile QB who suffers from head injuries. Laughable. Well, I'm glad it's laughable. And maybe, the Pittsburgh Penguins should have given up on Sidney Crosby after a couple concussions. Right? Is that what you're saying? I get it, my brother. You probably have never fought for anything in your life. You're probably one of those guys that gives up on the first sign of adversity, right? Because this is something that's been, torturing him for years and years. All kinds of head concussions. It's not one season that's it. It's one season of bad luck. No, it's years it's been going on. We might as well quit on him. But, dude, it's understandable. I get it from some of you out there. Some of you probably have a sheltered life. You've probably never had any adversity in your life. They probably treat you with a silver spoon every day. You probably don't know what it's like to have to try to fight every time for a lot of things. And in life, that's how it is. Fred Taylor had a bunch of injuries early in his career, his first 3-4 years. He figured out his body. He took off for a nice stretch. I want to say 6, 7, maybe years or 8 years of very little injuries at all and was on a roll. You know, some guys that it happens to them where they go through a stretch. You know, Drew Brees. Oh, you can't sign on the shoulder. Well, the rest is history. He went to the Hall of Fame and won a Super Bowl. You know, Bernard King absolutely shredded his knee in a day where when you shredded your knee, you were done. He came back to have an all-star season. Couldn't maintain it because that knee was so beaten up, and in those days, medicine was so behind. So I get it, man. First sign of adversity, a lot of you run and hide because that's probably what you do in your lives. You know what I mean? But that's not the way it goes in football. Dan Marino blew his Achilles, never repaired it, kept going, figured out a way to play with it. Nobody really even talked much about it. Wow, play without your Achilles? How do you do that? Oh my God. God, what's his name? The small forward who played for the San Antonio Spurs. He had Alonzo Mourning also. Sean Elliott and Alonzo Mourning, kidney ailment. I was doing radio then too. Oh, Zoe's done. Oh, okay. Most important center in the 2006 championship was not Shaquille O'Neal, was Alonzo with the new kidney Mourning. Sidney Crosby's had 7-8 concussions, my man. Not the 2 that officially Tua has, possibly 3. I get it, man. Kenny Pickett already had 2 this year. So what, you're going to give up on the rookie? I get it, man. It's really easy for those of you out there to give up because you're not a fighter. You know? Radio's dying. What's happening in radio? They've fired nearly 80% of the talent on radio all over the country. People either are out of work and they go into another profession, or maybe they fight it like some of us do, like some of us can. So I don't know about you, my brother, but I don't live in that world where I just give up. And I don't think Tua lives in that world. I don't think Dan Marino lives in that world. I don't think Sean Elliott lives in that world. You know, I think there's a kid named DeMar Hamlin. I don't think he's looking to quit, bro. You know, I think you some of you out there, you seem to forget that all kinds of people, human beings and athletes have come back from all kinds of adversities that people thought that they would never be able to come back from. And you know what's the easiest thing to do? To give into the negative bullshit that you just delivered. Because you got no heart, man. Because you got no fight. That's the problem. Thank God Tua's got a lot of heart and a lot of fight. You could learn a lot, man. You can learn a lot from a lot of people in sports and in life who overcome adversities. They don't quit on the first sign of it. You try to overcome it first. So I'm going to stand by Tua, and I'm going to watch him try to fight and overcome this adversity. Okay? And when he does, or if he does, I don't want to hear you later on then talk about it. Because you're a quitter. Anyway, what else do we have? Oh, did any super chats come in? Yes. Here we go. Okay, right after Broach. So we go to Jericho. Okay, I'm right. Great season. Sorry, could see your show. Could see your show much as I watch the game at Tommy's and then go to parties afterwards. I'll see you at Tommy's. You got it, my brother. Thank you. Thank you for supporting us as always. And remember, it's on demand. Always on YouTube, on Spotify, Stitcher, Google Play, iTunes, Amazon, SoundCloud, Podbean, wherever the hell you get your downloads, your podcast, you can find Big O Radio Show, and obviously here. And please make sure you subscribe. Okay, to the channel. Help us get to 20,000, and also not only help us get to 20,000, but also subscribe to get us to. We have 610 likes and 1,300 watching. Come on, let's get us to 1,000. All right, Fins and Fit need a stud linebacker. Amen. The middle linebacker is needed badly, my brother, and I hope that they find that nasty linebacker. You got to deal with Josh Allen. You know, if you got to deal with Justin Herbert, his punk ass ain't ever going to run out of the pocket and sell out. Trevor Lawrence, you better deal with him. Justin Fields, you better deal with him. Josh Allen, you better deal with him. So, amen, my brother. We need to see the Dolphins get a badass middle linebacker thumper that can not. You see that Milano guy? That guy's an assassin. And that's a guy that you hate unless he's on your team. You need an assassin like Milano. Okay? Get me an assassin. We have no assassins out there on that team. They need one. David Barrera. Let's go Dolphins for life, baby. Thank you, sir, for the love on the super chat. Rod Romero, love on Venmo. Cash Big O Show. Big O, thanks for bringing Miami Dolphins and sports teams coverage to all of us that no longer live in South Florida. Good luck continuing to grow your show in 2023. Next stop, 20,000 subscribers. Thank you. Thank you, Rod. Appreciate you, my man. It's very nice of you. Little love on Cash App or Venmo. That is Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show. Alexander Trujillo on Cash App is asking, do you think Sanders saved his job? I think so. I think what you do with Sanders is you bring him. He's under contract, right? Unless there's this thing with cap-wise, you can, I don't know, free up money and somebody else becomes available. It's good. But the other scenario is you bring him back and bring competition in. The question I don't have in front of me right now, I'd have to look it up. What guarantees are there before the new year start? Are there any roster bonuses that are big? If there are, then you may have to make a decision early. But he may have saved his job because he was kicking. And tell me you didn't feel good about him if they would have gotten a few more yards at the end to tie the game at least and send it into overtime. You do, right? Because I do. So appreciate you, Alejandro Trujillo. Very nice of you. Thank you, sir, for the love on the super chat. Jerry Henry, McD just said refs told him on the 4th and 1 that it was a first down. That's why he was late to get his players in. No, I think that was at the end of the game when the Buffalo Bills got the 4th and 1. We're talking about all the offensive stuff, dude. That happened throughout the game, throughout the whole year. McDaniel's been a disaster in his in-game calls, man. Let's be honest, okay? Scott Zeese, first act of business now should be to pay Wilkins. Thank you for the love on the super chat. Wilkins and Sealer, right? Right? Wilkins and Sealer need their money. Pay those guys, because without those guys, are you kidding me? Yeah, those guys deserve their cash. I'm with you there. What's up with Marcel, bro? What's the deal with Marcel? Marceau. What's going on with Marceau? See if man, my phone has exploded. Like it's like can't reach everybody right now. I'm on the air. Let's see. No, he was talking the delay of game. He thought it was a first down. Oh, you talk about earlier in the game? Okay. Big O, how many billions did the bookmakers pull in with our Fins covering the spread? Probably a nice chunk. because a lot of people had to have bet on the Bills. I mean, that's the normal thinking that Miami is going to get killed. What a nice performance by them, and really respectable performance that we needed going into the offseason, because an ass kicking would have just made you feel terrible. Toby Marmorino, it's better for me to say it in Spanish. FYI, Marino had surgery to repair his Achilles. It didn't work as his tendon atrophied and elongated. That's a fact. He stated it himself in his bio. Also, that's why, because he used to wear this thing like for support there, because his leg was skinny, because I was in the lockers. I covered his last 5 years, right? No, my God, no, 91. I started going to Dolphins camp. So to 99. Yeah. It's bad. Going to camp those Shula years was a trip. Very intimidating, the Shula years. What else do we have? I'm interested to see what Stephen Ross and Greer have to say at the season wrap-up press conference. Do we really need to hear from Stephen Ross? Right? I don't think we'll even hear from Stephen Ross. I think if Stephen Ross talks, it will be at the owners' meetings. I don't think Stephen Ross is going to talk at all, just so they can stay away from all that. Greer and McDaniel will talk probably. I'll get Greer for you guys over and the Senior Bowl, because all the GMs, whoever the GM is, will talk in the Senior Bowl in between one of the practices. So I definitely will be there for that one, and we'll get you all the information, and we'll break it all down for you all out there. And I'll probably do a special show that day in the afternoon. I'd already done one in the morning, because we're going to do one in the morning from Mobile before I go to practice. And then we're going to, for that one, the day that Greer talks, we will definitely be doing a small afternoon show just to kind of go over the comments from Chris Greer and see if there's any, I don't know if there'll be any kind of, usually there's not that much earth-shattering stuff. I'll have more information, period, from my hanging around for the next couple of days there in Mobile. God, I can't wait. This is my favorite time of the year when I get to this. The only thing that I'm pissed is that I can't do the Senior Bowl and the East West Shrine back to back, because they overlap each other, and I think that is so uncool. Okay. Leon Fresco, thank you for the super chat. Moving forward, Finns need to figure out a way to draft contracts and incentivize Armstead and X's behavior and punish Fuller and Byron's behavior. Well, first of all, X's stuff is off the field. He's fine in the building. He's fine on the field. The guy's just playing injured. You can tell. Now, he's got all that other stuff going on. But yeah, but I don't think you can really, unless it's a serious thing, you're not going to be able to really do anything against that. Yes, sir.
No, what I think he's referring to is X and Tehran playing through injuries where Byron and Fuller sat out. I think he's meaning incentivize that. I think that's what he's referring to.
Oh, I see. I see what you're saying. Yeah. Yeah. That's kind of the way this is why there aren't completely guaranteed contracts in the NFL. That's the problem you have right now with that. And this is where they have an advantage. Look, teams can cut you at any time. I don't think they're going to put themselves up for that. Once they get that money guaranteed, whatever their guarantees are, that's it. They're not going to allow you, unless you're a troubled person, or that stuff about being out. Well, that's injury. What are you going to do? Okay. Just looking at a headline there, but nothing really important. Big O, you're fired. Thank you, sir. Appreciate that. I will fire myself soon. My wife fired me years ago. Big O, front office needs to get CBs linebackers, O-line, and stud running backs, then we are elite. I would like a big back. I would like a power back in there that can help. One that can move, by the way, not necessarily, a slow guy, a prodder. You're going to need some guy that's shifty, but a power back. Nate Mandu, that's where we really want to do. Hey, everybody, get on out of here. We're going to Nate Mandu. Win or lose, we weren't going to hit a hot streak and go for a run. This team played their championship today. This many injuries prevent sustained success. This was all hard today, not a run. Of course. I don't think anybody was looking at this as a run. Everybody was just looking at this like, hey, let's have fun. If they can win this game and just surprise the Bills and shock the world, it'll be a great way to end the season. But indirectly, they gave us what we needed. What they gave us was proof that this team is not that far. This franchise is not that far from Buffalo. And all they need now is some breaks that most teams get when they're making these kind of runs. They get these breaks, and that's why they make these runs. But Miami doesn't get the breaks, and that's why they're not making the run. That's all it is. We're closer than people realize. If McDaniel just went for Brady style QB sneak, who knows? I agree. I used to have a what's it called? A Wanstead. No, not used to. I still have it. Let me see. Because I had a Wanstead one that used to say we are closer. Because it was just when I'm actually going through them and seeing if I can find it, because I had some classic ones. If you guys want to hear some,
you're 100% right.
Oh, thank you. You got a little Wanstead stuff.
2 cold beers and went to bed.
Mr. Bates.
Not talking about him.
One of my associates will bring you around.
Thank you.
Believe me, I got a sales pitch ready.
Harvey Green.
Kept hitting it.
Jim Bates. He was classic.
Not talking about him.
We're losers.
Zach Thomas.
We are not in the playoffs. We suck this year.
That's Adewale Agunlie.
I got to look at the film.
There's Wanstead.
Tornado works.
That's ridiculous.
I know I'm going to get paid here.
There you go.
If you don't score points in this league, it's very difficult to win week in and week out.
Yeah, that was Wanstead's philosophy.
If you don't score points in this league, it's very difficult to win week in and week out.
I don't give a damn what no doctor say.
Try to remember who that is. That's a defensive lineman.
I would disagree with you.
Why is Wani disagreeing with me?
Did you see the ball throw?
But wow.
We give up big balls all year.
Sam Madison.
That's Dave's decision.
Rick Spielman.
He kind of reminds me of young Jim Mandich.
There you go.
Coach Coward.
All right. That was David Bowens, by the way. See? These are classics, man. Classics on the machine. Kendall Langford, maybe. Oh, yes, that might have been Kendall Langford. You might be right. You might be right.
Could be a casual correlation.
It could be. You never know. You just never know. Oh, man. Gesicki has never been an intense guy during the game. He's kind of even keel, upbeat guy. If you're an intense person and expect others to be guilty, Gesicki will piss you off, but I've learned to adapt. Gesicki's a player, dude. That's all I know. You know what I mean? That's all I know about Mike Gesicki. He is a freaking player, man. I am really, really proud of watching that guy play, and I'm going to be really sad. It's kind of like last year that I was pissed that the Dolphins lost Matt Collins, and I thought Matt Collins was one of those guys that you want your team to have, and I think he would have been a perfect number 3. By the way, how about Cedric Wilson's return? That dude all year pretty much was like a possession guy, and he bust out that 50-yard return. And that was obviously a game changer, a game saver. That was a big 3 points in the game. That was cool to see. Today, some things finally went their way. And still, the stuff that didn't go their way was their own fault. Penalties or drop passes or mistakes by McDaniel. Obviously, Skyler playing with the turnovers. Kid's going to make some mistakes. It is what it is. You're playing a 7th rounder. It's all good. What else do we have here? Nerdsworth Poindexter. I stopped listening to QAM when they got rid of Big O. Well, thank you. Appreciate that. They still have some good guys over there, man. They do the best with what they have. You know what I mean? They don't have a lot there left, and there's none of those people have any passion for that place. They don't care about that place. They're all just collecting a check, and they're just trying to survive the next week and the next month. Okay, that's all they're trying to do. God bless them. Like a lot of people, what's left in radio, they're just trying to survive until they cut your ass. Big O was and always be the best in the biz. Jim Gleason, thank you. That is too kind. Eddie Lepp says the Miami Dolphins preseason team went into Buffalo in the playoffs in January and almost won. It's a good line. I like that, Eddie. Victor Huertas, get Big O, the tight end from Georgia Bulldogs, as a tight end, great blocker. Well, they're going to get something. Unless what's the name of the kid that's who's inactive today? They'll probably try to give him a chance for next year too. We'll see. I know at least they like Smythe that helps them out there, but they're going to need somebody because Gesicki's going to be gone next year. That's for sure. All right, there he is. It is time to get the edge. Let's find out the latest with the Miami Dolphins and Marcel Louis-Jacques and our myedgedrink.com Miami Dolphins report.
Time to get the edge on the Miami Dolphins with our Edge Energy Drink Miami Dolphins report. When you want the energy drink that's delicious and smooth with zero aftertaste, you can only order Edge Energy Drink at myedgedrink.com. That's myedgedrink.com. Here's the ESPN Dolphin insider Marcel Louis-Jacques.
Good afternoon, sir. Or already, can we say good?
We are extremely. It's 6:33. It's extremely evening.
Yeah, it is evening. My bad. Good evening, sir. Would you say that when you look at the totality of the 3 games this year, the gap between the Miami Dolphins and the Buffalo Bills has shrunken significantly? That if this team was a healthy team, there could have been, results all over. Even in game 2, they probably should have won that game. I can make plenty of cases for why they should have won that game overall, including Mike McDaniel's continued mismanagement of a game as he does on a weekly basis, pretty much. But would you say in totality that the Miami Dolphins fan should actually feel good about where this team is and where it's going and the gap it has closed between themselves and the Buffalo Bills?
Well, I'll start off with this. After their loss against, I think it was San Francisco, I walked into that locker room at Levi Stadium and it was dead quiet. If people were talking, it was a whisper. Their heads were hanging. They looked defeated. They looked upset. They looked disappointed. I'm not saying that they weren't disappointing in that locker room tonight, but it was a completely different atmosphere. It looked like a team that was at peace with the effort that they just put out. The team that knew, like, we left it all out there. There's nothing collectively they can say that there was like, wow, there was no effort there. Like, oh, wow, we didn't play our best game. They played their ass off for 4 quarters there, for 3.5 quarters there. I've been saying since the summer, maybe even before the summer, I've been saying since last year, week 8, that the Dolphins played the Bills extremely freaking well. I don't know about talent gap between them right now. I think just in a vacuum, the Bills are a better team than Miami is, even I think when both teams are healthy, when both teams are fully healthy. But one-on-one, when they match up, there's no fear from Miami of this team. There's no fear. There's no intimidation of Buffalo. The last, we'll call it 4 games, even both of them last year, even the 35-0, have all been dogfights for the most part. Last year, Miami wasn't a good enough team to continue the fight into the fourth quarter. Last year, that fight ended and the better team elevated. This year, Miami is a better football team. So these dogfights were finished in the fourth quarter. Like, they were able to hang in there in the fourth quarter. They beat them in week 2. You could argue they should have won. They blew it in week whatever the hell, week 15. And tonight, they shouldn't have even had a chance. They shouldn't have even had a chance. They had no offense. All the points they got, save the long touchdown drive Skylar led it, I think it was the fourth quarter, right? Save that drive. Every point they got on offense was set up by a defensive turnover or a massive special teams play. There were no big plays on offense. There were no sustained drives. There was no run game. There was below replacement level quarterback play. Like, there's no reason on paper that this team should have been even in the contest at the fourth quarter, but there's no fear of the Buffalo Bills in Miami's locker room. And that's what we saw manifest itself today. I hate playing the what if game. I know I tweeted it. Like, I honestly, I was trolling a little bit. I was just kind of fucking around. If Tua was healthy, ... Like, it was meant to do exactly what the hell it did, which is make Bills fans angry and inspire a little spicy debate in the middle of an otherwise
You think
kind
the
of
Bills
boring
don't
game.
know? You think the Bills themselves don't see that the gap's been closed? Or like, this game ain't easy with these guys, no matter who's playing.
Hey.
They're giving us problems all the time now because they were bitch slapping them for a few years now.
Yeah,
And
it was ugly for a while.
20, 30 points easily. Every game we dreaded playing that game because they couldn't hang with them. All 3 games.
It was ugly. It was ugly for years. But I forget even if Tua was healthy today. If they had just replacement level quarterback play, they win this game. And I know that somebody is typing as I speak, well, the drop passes. If they drop passes, they win. Multiple things can be true. Okay.
Sure.
Skylar Thompson didn't get a lot of help from his offensive playmakers today.
Or his head coach.
He didn't get a lot of help today. So when he was on,
his head coach screwed him on that third down midway through the game, and then screwed him on the fourth down where it's 4th and 1, and it's like, yo, bro, come on, and you made it 4th and 6, and you're just putting this
watch a replay of 4th and 6, watch Tyreek Hill, and then tell me that McDaniel put him in position to fail. First of all, watch Tyreek Hill on that 4th and 6, and then come back and tell me that Skyler was set up for failure. No, he wasn't. Hill was wide open.
No, listen, that's not the point. The
Hill
point
was
is
open there, and Hill was open. Hill was open on 3rd and 19 as well.
The point is you don't put your 7th rounder in that position because those things can happen, Marcel. He's not a seasoned veteran. You have to get the goddamn play in and convert the 4th and 1 and move on. Do not put people in worse positions. That's what he did. You had to make it elementary, not high school.
What I noticed, and I heard it throughout the week, that they didn't feel like the Dolphins didn't feel like they had to change their playbook much with Skyler. They felt like they were going to call the same exact game. I was skeptical of that. But they called the exact same game as if Tua was starting at quarterback. They didn't change shit. There was no quick outs. There was no quickly getting the ball in your playmaker's hands. There were no, manufacturing space.
There's not a lot of play in the middle of the field. Like there was no. You don't attack the middle of the field.
I think it's because Skyler missed it. I think again, there's 2 things. There's 2 things can be true. I didn't finish my thought. Skyler didn't get a lot of help, and Skyler didn't play particularly well. He didn't play particularly well.
You're supposed
Both things are true.
That's normal.
Hey, expectations are not. It's still reality. Like, I'm not blaming him. I'm calling what it is. He looked like a 7th round rookie quarterback making his first career playoff start against a really good defense. Right. That's exactly what it looked like. He didn't play well. He wasn't expected to, and he didn't.
Yeah.
It's not something to be defensive over. It's reality.
I haven't been impressed with him at all year, but today I got to give him a little love, dude. I got to give him a little love. I thought he played with a little bit more awareness. I thought he wasn't nearly, as bad as he has been, he's made some plays. They dropped a bunch of 4 passes were dropped. His coach just did not handle the game for him the right way at times. Overall, for what he is, I can't pick on the kid, man. I can't kill him.
Look, it's what we've been saying for the past 2.5 weeks or so, 2-3 weeks or so, where his processing clock has now slowed down to a crawl.
Yeah.
And it's understandable because he's a rookie, and that's the one thing that physically Skylar Thompson is who he is right now. He's 25 years old. He's not gonna develop physically into some superstar, super athletic human, super whatever. He is what he is athletically. His arm strength, his accuracy, it is what it is. It's up here that needs to develop. And so we saw today, I forgot the final count, but midway through the fourth quarter, 22 of his pass attempts took him more than 2.5 seconds to throw.
Yeah.
Throughout the night, I mean, I talk a lot about extending plays and going off script and all of that. He was too far off script. He was too far. He was writing his own script. He was way too far. He was out of
the game. That Smythe play, that thing took 6 seconds or something.
Yeah.
He had time to scan all over and then found Smythe. And I'm like, bro, you're not going to have a half hour for every damn play.
Look, there were times where I did a little parlay on Underdog. I had Skylar Thompson over 10.5 rushing yards because I thought easily they're going to drop so many back in coverage because they can take advantage of this offensive line with just 4. They're going to drop so many back in coverage. He's going to have so many opportunities to run. And he had so many opportunities to run, to just pick up. Here's 3 yards. Here's 4 yards. Here's 4. Here's 5. And he wouldn't do it. He kept keeping his eyes downfield. He kept trying to make throws that, man, you just can't. You don't have that arm, man. The interception when he was targeting Sherfield that set the Bills up for ultimately a game-sealing touchdown. You don't have that arm, dude. You're going across the field and you try to put that on a rope. I know why he tried to do it because it was a small window. Right. But that takes an exquisite amount of touch, man. That's a hard throw to make. This isn't Madden. That's a very hard throw to make. Especially in that circumstance, that deep in your territory. There were times where it's taken him too long to make a decision. And that ultimately kept the offense from being productive today. I would almost have rathered, if I'm a Dolphins fan, almost rather just see him gun it and take shots and say, fuck it, I think the Tyreek's going to be open on this. I think I think this window's going to be here. Because at least you're making decisions. The infuriating thing is when you don't make a decision at all. Right. And then you wait too long and then you make the wrong decision because your options are bad. Your options are limited. And that's what we saw from Skylar Thompson today. There were moments, the third down conversion to, I think it was Waddle that took them 40 minutes to review for some reason on the sideline. Beautiful throw. The one that Waddle dropped in the first quarter, beautiful throw.
Yeah.
The second one I can't call it a Waddle drop.
No. That was that was a bad throw because it was underthrown. It allowed the defender to get into the play, and he made the play, and he got out. If he leads Waddle, as long as Waddle hangs on, it's a touchdown. Yeah.
There are some times though, obviously you can't put every single defect or pass breakup on the receiver. There are times where you expect your star to make a play though. If there's a play in week 1 where Tua should have thrown an interception against the Patriots. It was such a stupid pass. But your $30 million wide receiver, Tyreek Hill, goes up and snatches it from the jaws of life, or from the jaws of death itself, and completes the pass for him. Right. Sometimes you expect your star receivers to make a play, and Jalen Waddle had 1,400 receiving yards this year. Jalen Waddle's a star receiver. Every now and then, you expect Jalen Waddle. You're gonna have to look, man. You're gonna have to straighten those hands, strengthen those hands up, that grip up, and come away with some of these. Don't let it get knocked away.
Remember, he lost.
Stop jumping up.
He lost the game this year all by himself with 2 brutal mistakes in one game that cost him a game, pretty much. So yes, he's got. Look, Rob Hunt has had a terrific year. He picks up penalties every time. Kohu, who has been one phenomenal find. He has a little too many holds. Waddle, phenomenal receiver. He drops a little too much at times. He has a lack of concentration. Mike McDaniel, the next subject, a fantastic mind. No doubt can communicate with players. They play hard for him. They like him. He has mismanaged game after game. I have talked about it many times now for several weeks. And today, the reason you walked into that locker room and those players felt great, it's because their coach is the one that effed up that game for them today, basically. Okay, because if everybody knows it, that guy screwed up this game today. How did Mike McDaniel handle the press conference, handle the responsibility, and his constant mistakes with game management?
I don't think I'm just gonna sit here and bury Mike McDaniel though. Like I legitimately think
Where's the shovel?
I legitimately think they just didn't. They weren't supposed to win this game. Like they weren't even supposed to be in it. They weren't supposed to be in this game. I think they just they overachieved in this game. Like I can't sit here and say like, wow, they really should have won. They should have. No, with the team that was active and took the field, I don't think so. I don't think they should have won. Like I think they overachieved.
I get that
today.
And
so I'm not. But I don't want to.
Now that
I don't
you're in
want
that
to bury.
position, don't F it up.
I can't bury the coach. I don't think they necessarily effed it up because then like we're still talking what ifs. Like okay, say they score with however the hell much time left.
My man was going for it on
that,
fourth down. On fourth down, and the Bills saved his ass with a timeout. And he saw the overthrown pass. And yeah, no, we'll punt it this time. Like, of course you're supposed to punt it.
But
why would you go on fourth down? Your defense is giving the Bills trouble.
It was
Change
there.
The field position.
It was there. What are you talking about?
But it's a 7th
That was a
round kick.
That was a touchdown.
But you can't count on him to find Tyreek Hill open.
So
you can't count on him to hit that shot all the time.
I think it was Waddle.
I think
it was Waddle. But you can't. It's a fine line because you can't speak all week about we have all this confidence in Skyler. We don't feel like we have to change the Skyler. We know we expect him to do. Dude, it's playoff time. You're not a rookie anymore. You're not a rookie anymore. It's January.
No, but Marcel,
if you're in that position,
simple.
If you're in that position, you're expected to make the play. The play was there. He had a step. He overthrew him. The play was there. We're not talking about this at all. If they connect on that and there's no timeout, like we're not saying, "Oh, that was a dumbass call to go for it." We're saying, "Wow, the ball's on that guy."
Marcel, you see the attempts and the completions? Do you see the disparity between the two? This is who he is. What you have to stop players from as a coach is you put them in positions to succeed. In that position there, you punt because your defense has been giving you a chance all year long, by the way, not just in this game, but all year long. And guess what? Because of that overthrown pass and because of their timeout, you got a do-over, and you were able to then redo the right thing, which was punt. And what did the defense do? It stopped it and got you the ball back. So they did their job. And sometimes when it's 4th and 1, get the call in and run. When you're in the Bills 3 weeks ago and you're running the ball and you're gouging them 7 yards a carry and you get to 3rd and 1 and 3rd and 2 and 3rd and 3, keep it simple, stupid. Just keep running. But no, he complicates things. He does
I can hold him accountable for week 15. I can hold him accountable for week 15. But there are scenarios here, like I've said throughout this conversation, the Dolphins weren't supposed to be in this game. They're playing with house money at that point. If you're down by whatever, you're down by 3, you're down by 10 in a game where you're 14-point underdogs this late, like you had a lead in this, you're playing with house money at this point. You can't play scared. You can't play scared. You can't play conservative. At some point, like you have to try to be the aggressor. I get what he was going for. And again, it was there, and we're having a totally different conversation if they connect on that play. Forget even a timeout. Like we're having a different conversation if they connected on that play, period. Because then we can say for sure, wow, they would have had it if not for things. So like I can't blame you for trying to be aggressive here. Like at some point, field goals and punting isn't gonna cut it. Like you need to do something extraordinary when you are this shorthanded and this much of an underdog if you're gonna try to come out here and win the game. Like shout out to them shout out to Mike for not just coaching like they're happy to be here. Like they were still coaching to fucking win the game. They're still
Yeah, but
coaching to try to win the game.
you're at your 34-yard line, bro. No,
Again, scared money don't make money.
no, bro. You punt.
Scared money don't make money.
Bro, that's a what's the name of the guy from the Chargers? Brandon, what's his name?
Staley. That's one thing.
That was a Brandon Staley call.
That's one thing. When if you're not running the ball up 27-0, just like 28-3, you're not running the damn ball for some reason in the Super Bowl would talk like you're not playing. It's different scenarios. There are different scenarios here. They didn't have a run game to go off of when they were up by 4 to try to play ball control.
Don't say that because Mike McDaniel's mentor just did that in the Super Bowl with a 25-point lead on Tom Brady and said, "No, we'll keep passing the ball. We don't need to run. We're run oriented. We won't run the ball." Why?
The thing is, they're not playing with like a multiple score. They're not protecting a multiple score lead. They're not.
No, I get that. But I'm just having fun with it.
It's a different scenario. It's a different scenario. I will. Okay, like I can. See eye to eye, whatever the word is, on his clock management. I think it needs work. Like
no, all kinds of things.
Here,
Gesicki, dude. All of a sudden, he loses him in the last month. And what does Gesicki do? All he does is make plays. So for 3/4 of the season, bro, you avoided this guy like he had the plague, like he had a disease. And that's a playmaker. Get him on the field, find a way. For this season, tolerate it, adjust, show me that you can adjust. And he proved to me that he had problems because to him it was a square peg in a round hole every single time. And that's not what great coaches do. Great coaches, offensively, defensively, find a way to make do with what they have. Oh, man, I've got Ingram and Roberts. I can't catch them in the open field. That's going to screw my defense, but I got to deal with it. I got to play with it. You know what I mean? And you got to make the best of what you got with what you got. You know what I mean? And I thought Boyer did the best with what he had. Whereas I thought McDaniel had even more and he didn't use it. And that kind of
I thought Boyer I thought he got burned on his aggression early in the game. And I think he adjusted. I think they spied Josh Allen a little bit more. I love that. I think
when did he get burned on his aggressiveness?
On the 52-yard completion to Diggs on 3rd and 19.
With X?
Yeah, there's no safety help.
All right.
And they sent the house. There's 3 guys back in coverage.
I love that one. There was no safety help on the first play of the game.
It wasn't the first play of the game. What are you talking about?
You can't
I
have
just said on 3rd and how is it 3rd down in the first play of the game,
You can't have it both ways. My point is
don't shift the conversation. Like I said, you asked me when he got burnt on aggression. I said they went cover 0 blitz on 3rd and 18. And he completed a 50-yard. No, you didn't. You admit that. Yeah, my bad. I got the play wrong. Right? I misunderstood what you were saying, Marcel.
Listen to me. I just told you that Boyer did with what he has. Well, if you have X, well, then you're going to have your safety worry more about the other people, and you're going to take your chances with X. Whether you're blitzing or not blitzing, none of you get the luxury to pull out of your fucking ass, hey, roll the safety over. That doesn't go that way. Later in the game, they rolled the safety over to X, and guess what happened? They burned Kohu.
There was no safety on the field. Everybody was in
these arguments to your advantage.
It's a cover 0. You asked me when did he get burned on his aggression, and I just told you. They went cover 0, they went engage 8, and they got burned.
I explained to you that's a lazy argument you're using.
How is it a lazy argument? You asked me when did they get burned. I said they literally got burned on his aggression.
Because
no, you do not.
99% of the time,
on 3rd and 15, no, the hell you do not. On 3rd and 15, no, you do not.
Because you have to protect the other guys, not X. You have to take your chances with your veteran. You have to take your chances. This guy cannot cover for everybody. He has to worry about
on
one
3rd and 15.
On any down with X.
This isn't any down.
You have no.
This wasn't any down. This was 3rd and 15. You asked me a specific question, and I gave you specific answers, and now we're talking about generalities.
And I countered it. You didn't counter it.
You didn't counter it. Like they literally, there's no arguing it. They got burnt like that. I don't give a shit if they have to do it or they don't have to do it. They got burnt.
They're going to get burned whether they blitz or they don't, because X is what he is, unfortunately. He's playing at 70%, and the one time they went over to X, he got Kohu. So one time, you can't win. It's what I'm trying to tell you. You guys want to win a chess game that's unfortunately you cannot win because you do not have enough chess pieces to go up against the king. And that's the problem, that he's going to burn you at one point or another, whether you like it or not. Because X is not 100%.
I have no problem. I have no problem with them blitzing. I didn't say like they should never have blitzed. I said I felt like they got burned on their aggression early. That is exactly what happened.
So it's all
I didn't say oh, it's the wrong. I didn't say it was the wrong call. This was stupid. This was this. This was that. I said they got burned for their aggression, whether they had to be or not. Because Josh Allen's going to pick you apart either way. Blitzing at least gives you a chance. But you don't have to send 8 people on 3rd and 15. Oh, you don't have to send. You don't have to do that. You can send 5. You can send 6. You don't have to send 8 on 3rd and 15. No, the fucking didn't work.
Later on in the game, it did work. Later on in the game, it did work. Well, who forced the fumble, dude? That was the blitz.
You just asked me when I feel like we talk in circles sometimes. I said he got burned on his aggression early. So like whatever happens on later in the game, if they blitz 8 on 3rd and 15 at some other situation that I'm not aware of, then let me know, chat. Let me know.
The one they forced the fumble on. The one they forced the fumble on. Wasn't it Eric Rowe? Wasn't it Eric Rowe?
That wasn't 3rd and 15.
Whatever
and engage 8.
They set the house on his ass anyways. What I'm saying is they're going to get there sometimes. They're not going to get there sometimes. They're going to get burned on base defense. They're not going to get burned on base defense. You can't use it to your luxury when it works or when it doesn't work. That you say, oh, you only point out when it doesn't work, because it does work sometimes. This is why you were in the game.
But what all did I just say? He got burned on his aggression early. I thought he did a good job of sticking with it. Like, is that not literally what I just said?
Yes.
Like, you focused on when, then you said, when did he get burned early? I told you he got burned early.
I just want to make sure, because
your explanation was like ignoring what I just said. Like, I just said, did a good job.
Everybody's using that one. Everybody's using that one, and then they leave out the other one. And that's my problem with it.
There was no other one early. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, early, they got burned on their aggression early. They had to do it. Sure. You can't just sit there with your thumb up your head, but not on 3rd and 15. You don't have to send the house. You got to keep him off balance.
That guy is too dangerous, bro. That guy's a monster.
I had a tweet that said, like, the adjustments Boyer made deserves as loud of recognition as the criticism of his early aggression. Like, I said it on record. I thought this was the best game that Boyer called. I thought he stuck true to his game. They made adjustments. They put the spy on Allen. They kept blitzing. They kept him off balance. They kept him uncomfortable. That's like it worked in the long run. But that's literally what I said. They got burned early and stuck with it. Like, they stuck with it. You could have adjusted. You could have said, okay, forget it. We're not blitzing anymore. We're going to drop 9 back in cover. They could have played scared, but they didn't. But they absolutely got burnt on it early in the game. Stephon Diggs was cooking X's lunch early in the game. I don't know why they stopped throwing to Stephon Diggs in the second half.
Miami's
he had
lucky.
One target in the second half.
The Bills' offense will make mistakes. That's the good thing about it. That if you can give them some trouble, then you're going to force them into some mistakes. So let me ask you something, because obviously X is a shell of what he normally is. I think he needs an off season, and then next year you'll get a chance to get a healthy X back, and hopefully he'll have a better year. You can tell he's a shell of himself. Kohu, has he shown you enough to play on the outside and take over for Byron?
Yeah, I think he'll be fine. I think he's young. He's young. He's playing with the cast as well on his right hand. Like, it makes it difficult. It's a difficult thing for a corner to do. Like, you would think ironically, you would think that it would keep you from holding, but like there's certain things, like the more tape he watches, the more routes he sees, the more double moves he sees, the more like these things aren't going to fool him anymore. I think they found a gem. They found a real gem in him, man. He's back. I've said already, Byron Jones is not back on this current contract next year.
Oh, no, he's done. He's not even coming back, bro. They're not going to bring him back no matter what. I think Byron's gone this year. X will be gone next year, but X and his agent will know that. So X will have all the reason to come back next year healthy and be motivated, because he's either going to be motivated for Miami to extend his current deal and, whatever, or, move on to the next team that is going to want him in his early 30s at that point, and they're going to say, well, do we take a chance? Oh, he's had a good year, that kind of stuff. So I think indirectly, Miami next year gets a self-motivated X because he doesn't know what his destiny is in 2024, whether he's staying in Miami or going, because there's no way they release X and Byron next year, this offseason.
I'd say if I'm X, if I'm Xavier Howard, I spend the offseason trying to develop my soft tissue durability. Like however it means, if it means changing your diet, if it means changing your workout plans, less bulk, more flexibility, whatever it takes, because that's what generally pains him. It's a groin, it's a hamstring, it's soft tissue stuff, and that stuff lingers. It doesn't go away. X played through injuries. He had to. If he didn't, this team is screwed. Even bad X is better than whatever they would have gotten without X.
No, he made some plays today. He made some plays at the end there. He did a couple of things, bro. I mean, I know you can tell, dude, when he got the interception, watching him run it back. Look at him, dude. You can tell he's running back gingerly. This is not the guy that I'm used to seeing. I can tell right away, but agree with me on here, right? Let's just send the Dolphin Nation this. They can release Byron Jones, but there's no way fiscally that they could release both guys. So just in case for people out there, X will be here.
I'm not even entertaining suggestions that they're cutting Xavier Howard. That's
exactly
asinine. I'm not asinine. I'm also not entertaining Derek Carr to Miami. Please stop. No, guys, have you watched Derek Carr play?
Come on, man.
Like, Derek Carr plays scared football more often than not. Like, that's not going to be fun for you guys. You're not going to enjoy that shit. You're not going to enjoy it. At least Tua took shots all throughout the season. That's not what you're getting with Derek Carr. He's efficient. He's efficient, but he plays scary football, man. Like, stop. The grass is not always greener, dude. I said before, it's going to take a Aaron Rodgers or a Tom Brady. Other than that, I've seen Tua at his best now. I'm putting it up with any quarterback that is presumably available. I'm putting it over Derek Carr. I'm putting it over.
By the way, the
putting
Brady
over
thing.
Trey Lance. I'm putting it over Lamar Jackson, who also doesn't play football in December. Like, that triple option would be hella fun to watch with Lamar, Tyreek, and Jalen. Sure, but
regular season,
Lamar's got just as much.
And by the way, I got to say, Marcel, I think whoever signs Brady, that's the father time contract. I think that's I saw it already this year that he was getting old. I would be very scared. Whatever, if looks like the Raiders, that would be so Raiders that he goes there and he gets old. It'll remind me of Trace Armstrong. Trace Armstrong came here towards the end of his career. He signed a 3-year contract with Shula. Jimmy took over the last year that Trace was here, his 3rd year, but he had 3 good years consecutively opposite of Jason. No, 1 year with Shula, 2 years with Jimmy, and he had good years opposite of Jason Taylor. He got a big-ass contract from the Raiders and could never live up to it because they signed him at an older age, and it kind of went off. I think whoever signs Brady that next 2-year deal is going to get the guy that falls right off the cliff. That's what I think is going to happen. That's just
maybe, but I don't know. I trust Brady to make smart decisions, and I trust him to play an entire season. So, like,
yes, yeah. You're right. He'll take care of himself.
It would take that. Like, that's what I'm saying. It would take that. But I don't. If that caliber of player is not coming to Miami, then it's gonna be too guys. Like, let's
and by the way, we
6 months, please.
We reported on Thursday that the Dolphins were moving forward in 2023 with Tua. But apparently Schefter also reported today that they're moving forward with Tua. So your thoughts on that?
I don't think I think it's similar to Jay Glazer reporting that Tua wanted to play in the playoffs. Like, yeah, we know. we know that Tua is going to be the guy next year. That's all they've been saying for the past 3, 4, 5, whatever months.
Well, no,
Like,
people are convinced they're going to go after Brady because of the owner. So, thoughts on that?
like I said, like they can't come out and say, like reports aren't going to come out and say, we're not getting anything out of this organization that suggests that they're going after a player who is currently under contract. Like they just got pinched for tampering. They got hammered for tampering. Forget pinched. Got hammered for tampering. This organization is Fort freaking Knox. We're not getting any leaks. You're not going to hear, oh, they're interested. If you hear it, it's cap. If you hear it, it's cap. Nothing's coming out of this organization. They are not losing another first-round pick. Steven Ross is not parting ways with another $1 million because if they get caught again, it's going. The price is going up. Like it's not happening. Like all we're going to hear is, yeah, we're going to move forward with the guy in our organization. Like I'm not shocked at. I'm not surprised at all. You shouldn't be either, guys. Like it's.
No. There's lots of people shocked, bro. Remember, the hate for Tua is deep. People don't believe in the kid.
We are not hearing
shit
from this, or we are not hearing any leaks. There's that is clamped. I promise. It's clamped. Nobody's going to talk about that, man. So, like, we're not going to, even if they're interested in Brady, if they're interested in Rodgers, interested in Carr, we're not going to hear any of those rumors until those players are legitimately available. Like, they're going to do it by the absolute book, man. So, that's my piece.
What do you think the win against the Jets and the performance today, even though there's some holes in his performance overall, but what did it do for Mike McDaniel, for the organization and the ownership? What do you think?
Nothing. Nothing. He wasn't getting fired. That would be
no, not about fired. Do they feel better about him is what I mean, actually. That's not what I don't mean it in the negative sense. I mean the stronger finish with the limited roster and quarterback. How much did that kind of help him in their eyes is what I mean.
I don't think it really moved the needle. I think this organization believes in him. I think his players believe in him. I think it's clear. We just saw it today. It's clear that they play for him. Like, I think he's a rookie as well. Like, he's going to learn a couple things. He's going to learn clock management. He's going to learn situational football, or like situational play calling. Like, I think it's going to be fine. I don't know if this is going to be the same group of assistants next year, but I think that I think Mike McDaniel's always been safe.
Percentages from 1 to 100 that Jason Sanders returns.
60%.
Percentages that special teams coach Danny Crossman returns.
2%.
2%?
2%.
Oh, shit. Percentages.
He can't come back, but like never say never.
Percentages that Josh Boyer returns as defensive coordinator.
40.
Okay.
40. I think what they were able to do to finish off this game gives him a little bit of a talking point. I think they would listen to him. About the. I think they'll listen to him if he says, I didn't have a whatever defense. I didn't have a full defense. They were that hurt. They were that because they were that injured. The names are insane. Brandon, Byron, Needham, Ogba, Flowers, like the names go on and on. Even shit, X, Trill, like the names go on. So like I think he has a legitimate gripe. But I think that if Vic Fangio were to commit to come, Vic Fangio is their defensive coordinator. I think if they're going elsewhere, that's their number one target. That's my understanding. That's their number one target. I don't know if him following Sean Payton, I don't know if that reported package deal is as concrete as it was reported to be.
All right. Follow him on Twitter at Marcel_LJ and catch his work there at ESPN. Marcel, appreciate you as always for providing us the edge.
Yes, sir. We'll talk Thursday.
You got it. That's right. Thank you, sir. Appreciate you. Actually, it'll be during the week now. There will be no more Sunday. We'll have 2 during the week. Anyway, thank you, Marcel. Appreciate you. Remember, myedgedrink.com for the finest energy drink on the planet. Delicious, smooth, and zero aftertaste. myedgedrink.com. Only 78 calories. Use our code BIGO. You will get 10% off. Order it to your home, to your office. A great elixir. I mix it with my Grey Goose, and it is the best. It makes the Grey Goose absolutely disappear. So go to myedgedrink.com, use our code BIGO, and get 10% off on the finest energy drink on the planet.
You now have the edge on the Miami Dolphins with the Edge Energy Drink Miami Dolphins Report featuring ESPN's Marcel Louis-Jacques. Get the energy drink that's delicious and smooth with zero aftertaste. You can only order Edge Energy Drink at myedgedrink.com. That's myedgedrink.com.
All right, Topher, thank you for the love on the super chat. He says Taylor Henneke, QB2. That could be a Taylor Henneke, a Joe Flacco, an Andy Dalton, a Gardner Minshew. I can see guys like that being the number 2. Edward Thurston Howell, thank you for the love on the super chat. And by the way, if I got one before Topher, Sean, please show it to me, okay? Edward says, McDaniel should have played Gesicki all year long, and on 4th down, you throw a pass to get enough yards for a 1st down. Don't throw a Hail Mary down the field. I know. It's, I'm with you, man. BKZ, Dolphin, Ronnie, with Tua, we win this game by at least a touchdown. Yeah, I agree. With Tua, they win this game. There's no doubt in my mind. Thank you, Ronnie. Appreciate you, man. Thank you for the love on the super chat. Appreciate it. Remember, you can also do it on Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show. Jim Gleason says, Big O Show, please block at Chico. He has a concussion and keeps repeating in hopes you will quote him. Okay. Well, if you haven't figured out, I've been talking, so I can't see all this stuff. But if you haven't figured it out yet on this show, usually if you're abusive and you just keep posting stuff just to be an idiot, you end up getting blocked anyway. So if I do notice it, he's right. He knows I will, because it's not fair to everybody else that's on there. Karen says, I like Marcel, but isn't he a Bills fan? No, he's not a Bills fan. He covered the Bills for a few years. Let's see. He just likes wings. That's what it is. So we try to get him over to Sports Grill, which, by the way, that new what's it called? The Doral location is awesome. Mariota can win a few games as a backup. I've never been a Mariota fan, dude. I get it. Him and Tua obviously get along, same high school system and all that stuff back in Hawaii. But I'd rather have Gardner Minshew over Mariota every day of the week and twice on Sundays. Seriously, I'd rather have Taylor Henneke over that dude. There's a lot of people I'd rather have over Mariota. Not a Mariota fan. I'm not a big fan of his lack of accuracy. So I got you now. Yes, there we go. Yep, you can eliminate Chico there, Sean. We just eliminated Chico. Saw something really stupid. So now I got it. The guy's just a pro troll. Gotcha. Let's see. What else do we have? Matt Moore. Yes, you can go get a little Matt Moore action. That would make a lot of sense. Let's bring him out of retirement. Maybe we can resurrect Earl Morrall, bring him from the dead. This way he scares the crap out of people too at the same time. I think that would make a lot of sense. By the way, that was the slowest game. How long did that game take? What was the box score in that game? What did it say? Because I looked at my wife and I said, it's freaking 4:00 and we're at the end of the third quarter. Let me see if I can see it in the box score somewhere here, the amount of time that this stupid game took, because it took a lot, brother. I mean, tons. Let me see if I got it here, because it was a long-ass game. I don't know exactly what time it ended, because you're not even paying attention to that kind of stuff. If you get it for me there, Sean, If you know exactly what was the game time of this whole mess, I'd love to know. Let me see here. It's got to be somewhere here. Nope. Oh, well. Somebody will help me with that. Yep, Don Strock, he's still around. Toby Marmorino says Gesicki will be all-pro the next 5 years. Sadly, not for us. Amen. Would Tannehill? I wouldn't want Tannehill here. That's not a no. Can we get a backup who's not consistently injured? Minshew and Dalton would be fine. Yeah, they're pretty solid. They're pretty solid. Those guys get rid of the ball. That's why they've got that in them that they don't hang on to the ball. Sage Rosenfels. He's such a good. He's such a good dude. Sage Rosenfels, man, one of the better dudes I've ever covered in sports. Really, really cool guy. He doesn't really follow the sport nearly as much as he used to. You know, he's kind of taking a little bit of a step back, but really good dude, man. I used to have him on the show every once in a while. Rest in peace, David Woodley. Yeah, I miss Matt Moore. Definitely one of my favorite Finns QBs. He was fun because he was fearless. That's the thing about him. Dude was fearless. He didn't care. He was going to sling it, and he was going to take some chances, and sometimes it wasn't going to come out right, but you got to love that kind of an attitude because that's what's going to give you a chance. Appreciate all of you out there, man. Let me see how many likes did we get? Did we get to 1,000? 755. Come on, before you leave, hit the like button, please. We're going to be back tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. We want to thank all of you out there for tuning in. Please visit our amazing sponsors like EJD Construction, our title sponsor here of our pre- and post-game show, 305-433-4843, Dade and Broward County. If you are looking for custom home construction or major home remodeling, call Eric, 305-433-4843, and tell them that Big O sent you. They're fully insured, so you never have to worry, folks. So call our friends at EJD Construction, 305-433-4843. We will see you tomorrow morning. We thank Lee Sterling in our pregame show. We thank Marcel Louis-Jacques. We thank, of course, Sean Stanley, the man that masters this entire platform. We will see you all tomorrow morning. Same time, same place, same bat channel. Love you all.
This has been the EJDConstruction.com Miami Dolphins postgame show on the Sports Talk 305 network. The show is mastered by Sean Stanley and Chad Show. From home to kitchen to bathroom additions and remodelings. Get in contact with one of the best contractors in the business. Call Eric at EJDConstruction.com. 305-433-4843. Please subscribe to our platform by searching Big O Radio Show on all digital avenues. On behalf of all our staff, we thank you for supporting us. Have a fantastic week.